Well, James Boyes is a professor in international politics at the American International University in London, and he's coming to give us some insight into that. Now, beautifully staged, the right audience, arguably the right location. The Americans now, all over their networks, I suspect, starting to look at it, the pundits starting to pull apart that speech. So what did you make of it?
It's very interesting. Here is Senator Obama, not yet President of the United States, certainly by no means a shoo-in to be President. Here he is barnstorming across Europe. We've seen the primary season in the United States in the first 6 months. Are we now opening this up to a global primary, perhaps? Will Senator McCain be forced to sort of get on a plane and come to Europe and try and do something similar and barnstorm across the rest of the world as Senator Obama has just done?
So are we Europeans seeing him through, as it were, rose-tinted spectacles? It was interesting looking at Matthew's report there, the division of opinion amongst those guys working on the roads. Clearly, it's not as universal. Certainly isn't that degree of approbation in the States.
No, this is certainly not a shoo-in for Senator Obama at this point. From a European perspective, it's very easy to look at this guy coming over here, following in the footsteps of John F. Kennedy and Ronald Reagan, and he's very cleverly trying to appeal to both Republicans and Democratic sentimentality there. But you need to remember that there's a great deal of states in the United States that will vote for John McCain come what may.
Nevertheless, these images, looking at them on the screen now, very valuable to his team, aren't they?
Very much so, and one needs to recognise the fact that this is very much a visit which is designed to shore up, to inoculate Senator Obama, if you will, against charges of having too little foreign policy experience come the election in November.
Well, that's the key, isn't it? Because there were a lot of the right noises in there, but did you see here any substance, things that we should have noticed that were actually significant?
One must also be very, very careful of anything that candidates say on the campaign trail, because it's very easy to say things as a candidate. One must recognise that this has to be executed in office if indeed he is successful. What we heard from Senator Obama today should be rather recognisable as Europeans. The same people who are working for Senator Obama had worked with Bill Clinton during his 8 years in office, and will therefore bring to office a more multilateral, European-focused foreign policy than we've experienced for the last 8 years under George W. Bush.
Sorry to interrupt you, there was a resonance, obviously, because of particularly because of the Kennedy appearance at the wall, wasn't there?
Well, absolutely. It's important to remember that John F. Kennedy didn't actually speak at the Berlin Wall. He spoke at City Hall. Ronald Reagan spoke at the Brandenburg Gate. But anybody listening to this who has memories of John F. Kennedy's visit to Berlin in '63 will have heard themes, expressions, almost direct quotations listed from JFK's speech. And that's, of course, not an accident. This is very much an attempt to try and draw in a European resonance, harking back to the Camelot years of John F. Kennedy.
I mean, finally, Matthew talking about the media's love, the American media's love affair with Barack Obama. The pundits are going to be on those evening shows a little later on in their time in this day.
Sure.
What do you think they're going to make of it?
Well, I would suggest that you'll get a split. Obviously, I think Fox will be jumping up and down on it, saying, oh, well, you know, it's terrible, it's presumptive of this individual to go abroad, talking as though he is President of the United States, which, of course, he isn't at this point in time. Perhaps those pundits on the left will be saying, well, it's a good lead-in and it shows a good focus and a vision for the future.
James, thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
See what they say over the next day or so. Thank you.